This is Miss Anna from the McHenry Public Library. Today we're going to be making some really awesome DIY no-sew keychains using yarn. So we have two different types of keychains. Our first one is a awesome pom-pom keychain, and our other one is a super cool foxtail keychain. To make your keychain, make sure you pick up your kit from the McHenry Public Library. And don't worry, if you haven't picked it up yet, we still have plenty of kits available. Just give us a call. All right, I'll see you once we start making our first keychain. All right, we're going to get started with our no-sew keychains. So we are going to be making two types. We're going to be making a pom-pom keychain as well as a foxtail keychain. And to make those two, you're going to need yarn, which is inside of your kit. You're going to need scissors. And if you're making the foxtail, you're going to need either a brush or a comb. And it needs to have very thin teeth. So what works really well is actually a pet hair comb if you have one of those, but anything with like a fine-toothed comb or brush is going to work just as fine. So the first one we're going to be making is the pom-pom. This one is a lot easier, so if you're new to crafting, I would definitely recommend doing this one. So your first step is to cut a piece of yarn that's about 12 inches long or so. It doesn't have to be exact. But this is the part that we will be using to create the chain that will then connect to your keys or your backpack. So you do want to make sure that it is pretty long. And what you're going to do is you're going to put it between your fingers in the middle like this. And that's so we can wrap it around at the end. So depending on how many fingers you use, that will determine how thick your pom-pom is. So 4 fingers is really, really thick. This is if you want to create a pom-pom that you put on your hat. But we are making a keychain, right? So we want a little bit of a smaller pom-pom. So we are only going to be using either 2 or 3 fingers. And so once you have that first step, you're going to grab the rest of your yarn and you are going to wrap it around your fingers. And you're going to want to make it pretty loose because you don't want it to get stuck. And you're going to want to wrap it maybe 20 to 50 times. It depends on how thick your yarn is. And you can use multiple colors as well. So if you have more yarn at home, you can definitely use more colors, and then you can just reduce how many times you wrap it around, right? Because you're using more than one thread to wrap it around. So whenever you think it looks full is when you can stop. I think I'll do a few more over here just so that you guys get an idea. And this seems pretty good to me, so I'm going to go ahead and clip it. And remember, we had the string that was going between our fingers. We're going to tie it around and create a knot. So just watch carefully how I do that. And now that you've kind of have it started, you can slide your fingers out and, like I said, just pull real tight and create that knot. And this top portion, you're going to want to knot it as well. And that way you can attach it to a keychain or your backpack or a purse. Any of those options work. So there we go. And I'm just going to trim it so that it's even. All right. So now for the fun part. Now that you have tied your string in the middle, very carefully you are going to cut down the center of your ball like this. And as you can see, when you do that, it kind of explodes outwards. Make sure you get all those that you didn't catch in the middle, right over there. This pom-pom is looking fun already. So I'll just cut it. There we go. And now that you have cut it, you can trim it into more of a ball shape. You can see some of my edges are uneven, so I'm going to go ahead and trim it. And I'm going to fast forward to the finished product. So give me a moment here while I finish trimming it, okay? All right, here's my completed pom-pom keychain. So looking pretty cute. And you, like I said, you can use this part and attach it to an existing keychain or anything like that. Or if you have like a strap, what you can do is kind of push your pom-pom through the hole over here like this. And then just pull it tight. And here you can see I've attached my pom-pom to the strap of my purse. So that's just another way that you can attach your pom-pom to a backpack or to a set of keys or anything like that. So that is our pom-pom keychain. And the next one I'm going to show you is the foxtail keychain. So we will be right back. All right, now we're going to be making the foxtail keychain. So again, we're going to start out with 12 to 15 inches of yarn, and you are going to be needing 3 long strips. And basically, again, what you're going to be doing is making sure that you tie enough so that you can loop it later. So you are just going to do that right now. Okay. So as you can see, we've got this nice long loop over here. And just pull that nice and tight. And what you can do is just trim off any of the extra yarn if you'd like. And we have these 3 remaining strips down here. So what you are going to do is you are going to want to braid these 3 strips. And you're going to braid them until you have about 1 inch of yarn left. And once you have that, you are going to again tie a knot. And get it as close to the end as possible. There we go. And using your comb or brush, you are just going to brush out those ends. And as you can see, when you brush it out, it gets all kind of smooth and silky. And that's what we're going to be doing to create the look of fur for our foxtail keychain. So basically, now that you've got the base of your keychain, what you are going to do is you are going to take another pretty long strip and then 2 shorter strips. So we've got 2 shorter strips. They're about 4 to 5 inches each, and then you want another longer one. And what you are going to do is you're going to tie the longer one around these 2. So this is what it's going to look like. And basically, what you do is you kind of take it and press it, find one of your loops from your braid, and you tie it through and around. So see how we have our little opening here? We are just going to tie that through our loop like that. And again, you're just going to knot it. And then you want to make sure that all of these are the same length, so you're just going to cut off any kind of extra yarn that you have. And now that you have it tied on, what you are going to do is brush it out. And as you can see, it kind of creates this cool fur-like consistency. Now, if you don't like how crinkly it looks like after you are done creating your foxtail, you can always use a hair iron in order to straighten it out. If you do decide to do that, just make sure you do it with an adult. Just be very careful when you are doing that. So basically, you are going to repeat that for every alternating which side that you tie the string on. So, you know, first do it on the left and the right, the left, the right, the left, the right, until you get to the top knot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will show you what it looks like once it is done. All right, I'm moving on to my last loop right over here. So I'm just going to finish up here and show you our finished tail pom-pom. So one more time, you are going to grab some strips of yarn, about 4 to 5 inches long, and then you are going to cut a strip that's just a little bit longer than that so you can tie it around, and you're just going to tie it around the middle of those 2 like that. And just double knot it so it doesn't get loose. Make sure you get it nice and tight, because one of the things that I have noticed is if you don't get it nice and tight, once you go to brush, it can just brush right out, and you don't want that. So we're just putting it through our last loop right over here. And again, we're just going to double knot it to secure it nice and tight. And nice and tight. And again, you're just going to brush that out to get it all nice and fluffy. just want to kind of... So basically, once you're done, you can just kind of smooth it out into a tail shape. You can give it a few extra brushes if you would like. And this is basically our tail keychain. And like with the pom-pom, you can use different colors if you wanted to do a pattern, or if maybe you wanted a different color at the end, you can do it however you would like. And just like last time, you can attach this part to a keychain or a backpack or a purse or anything like that. And just like before, you can just loop it through just like that. And you can just easily attach it to a purse or a backpack and show it off. And you can make it, you know, a fantasy color like I did like this, or you can make it more realistic. And like I said, if you don't like how wavy it is, you can ask an adult and they can help you straight iron this out, and that will help straighten it out. So just a reminder, we made our pom-pom keychain right over here, as well as our foxtail keychain right over here. So very cute, and both of them are super awesome and super easy to make. And I think they will add a nice addition to anything that you decide to attach them to. I hope you had a lot of fun making this craft, and make sure to check out all the other programs that we have going on at the library, because we have a lot of fun things that are coming up. Thanks, and I'll hope to see you next time. See ya!